to anonymous shreds of flesh on the back streets of Stratford, but there'd be no husband, no children, no parents, no siblings to mourn her, no hearts stabbed through by grief at her death, no unfillable void left by her passing. In her oblivion, she might even be reunited with Robbie. Who could say? Up ahead, just before the bridge, she could see flames raging skywards from the site of the old William Ritchie and Sons jute factory. She checked her watch as she approached it. Just coming up to 3 o'clock in the morning, but no chance of a break yet. Her job was to find out the extent of damage from the firemen, as well as details of any casualties and possibly unexploded bombs, and then take her report back to the ARP post. She crossed the road, then stopped as something caught her eye. Not another one. Would these people never learn? At the back of one of the houses adjoining the jute work site, a ground-floor window was shining like a beacon. Of course, even an idiot should be able to see there was no serious risk of light in a kitchen window guiding the German Air Force to its target when there was a huge blaze like that right next door, but, nevertheless, she wasn't allowed to ignore it. She'd have to tell whoever lived there to turn the light off or obscure it with their blackout curtain. That was, if there was anyone at home, of course. If there wasn't, she'd have to find a policeman or a fireman to break in. As an ARP warden, for reasons best known to the people who made the regulations, she wasn't permitted to do so. She strode up to the house and was about to reach for the door knocker when she saw a pair of bell pushers to her left. So the house must be 2 flats. She jammed her forefinger onto the lower one and held it there for 2 or 3 seconds. Nobody came. She pressed again, for longer this time, then bent down and shouted through the letterbox. Still no answer. She tried the upper bell, but this too went unanswered. She stepped back and looked up at the first floor of the house. All the curtains were open, and the rooms behind them in darkness. The whole house had a bleak and lonely air. With a sigh of exasperation, she set off briskly up the road towards the blaze. No policeman in sight. She'd have to ask a fireman. Fire hoses snaked in all directions across the factory site, each one terminating in a cluster of firemen wrestling to direct what must have been tons of water into the burning buildings, too focused on their task even to notice Sylvia approaching. She looked around for help and spotted one man sitting alone on a doorstep away from the inferno. He was wearing a fireman's tunic, and as she approached, she could see the Auxiliary Fire Service badge on its breast and the letters AFS on the front of his steel helmet. He looked exhausted, and when she drew close enough to see his eyes by the light of the fire, they were vacant, as if in his mind he was somewhere else far away. "Excuse me," she said. "I'm looking for some help. Are you injured?" Her question made him snap to attention, like a man caught dozing on duty. "Me?" he replied, with a sudden brightness and a hint of Welsh in his voice. "No, not injured, love, but bless you for asking. I had a bit of a slip off the ladder over there, and it knocked the wind out of me. I'm just sitting here for a moment to recover. How can I help you?" "I'm Sylvia Parks. I'm an ARP warden." "I can see that," he replied, glancing at her helmet. "Hosea Evans, Auxiliary Fire Service, as you can also no doubt see. So, what's up?" "I've got a house over the road with a light on, and there's no answer when I ring the bell, so I need you to break in so we can turn it off." "Break in? Why me?" "Because firemen are allowed to and wardens aren't. I don't make the regulations, but I don't want some bobby nicking me for breaking and entering." "They wouldn't do that, love." "Wouldn't they? We've put their noses out of joint enough already when it comes to who does what. They kicked up a right stink when someone said the ARP should be in charge of everything in an air raid, not them. Except firefighting." "Yes, all right, except firefighting. Anyway, the fact remains that I need you to break into that house for me. There may be someone in there who's hurt or can't get to the door for some reason. If so, they're in danger." "All right," said Evans, hauling himself to his feet. "Lead, kindly light, amid the encircling gloom. Lead thou me on." Sylvia recognised the hymn, but wasn't sure whether his intention was poetic or patronising. "This way," she said. "Welsh, are you?" "Oh, yes. I expect you could tell." It wasn't difficult. "Now come along, as quickly as you can." She set off towards the house with Evans limping along beside her. "You really could, you know," he said. "Could what?" "Break in for yourself. They've changed the regulations. You're fully entitled to smash your way into some poor soul's house now, especially if you think they need rescuing. No need to bring a boy like me along."